I'm back. I'm back. Going to war again. Blood is freedom stain. Don't you pray for my soul anymore. Minutes to midnight. The hands that threaten doom. Minutes to midnight. Yeah, I do need a new shock mount elastic. I think the shock mount elastic is just worn out. It's so heavily worn out. Like if I flip it around, the elastic doesn't even sit in its spot anymore. Yeah, I need new elastic for my shock mount. Ugh. Maybe I can just go to Guitar Center or Sam Ash and see if they have any in stock. The elastic is so badly worn out. Definitely Omega Yikes territory. Okay, I need to reposition my mic and just let it sit. Well. Yeah, I probably haven't changed the elastic on my shock mount in a good while, so definitely due for a refresh. You guys can still hear me just fine like this though, right? Check. All right, let me click dailies on NA real quick, and then we'll go back to EU. And we'll play a bit on EU before we do NA stuff. I just want to clear stamina real quick. Does SCA? SCA should, from a login too. Or they'll maybe put it on like a puzzle or something. I'm pretty sure SCA gets the stigmata from something. Unless you guys got it during your anniversary, which I don't think was the case. Parafoxa, hello. I'm sure they'll make it available for SCA through some other method. I feel like it's the same thing whenever there's like a commemorative stigmata for SCA, like Global gets it later in the patch from some other method. You guys might also get like a... You might get some other like shorter login that gives it. Okay. We'll come back to this account later. I need to go do main account stuff for a bit. And then after that, I wanna watch Jiao's account showcase. Did one pull got Yelan? Oh, congrats. Is it your C0 or C1? Account roast? No, it's gonna be just like a... We're just gonna look at it, and I want to hear his thoughts, because I think Jiao is basically, like, retiring. So I don't know if he's, like, committing to the retirement, or if he's just, like, not gonna play as seriously anymore. C0, okay. On the next rerun, I don't know if you're saving for something else right now, but on the next rerun, definitely try to get C1 Yelan. It is kind of luxury to get C1, but it is insane quality of life. Insane quality of life. But Yelan is incredibly fun. Even at C0, I was having so much fun with her. Yeah, I feel like the energy requirement lowering is just a side effect. Just the ability to have two charges on the E adds so much depth and variety, and you just have more buttons to press, and it's just really nice. It's just really nice. Hey, Farran. Alright, I gotta grind.
重构武装，启用手动驾驶，能量解线，全领域以真理之名，超越我心。捉迷藏开始了，时间不等人，一切后悔。烈焰焚尽。
Oh, congrats, Nor!
我不打没有把握的仗。
Congrats, big congrats.
久违了，战场。
In 0 seconds.
从区域警戒，动态级重构武装。
I should probably buy the stamps today too for my own account.
你见过鲜血粉碎的样子吗？来，调动捉迷藏开始了。
I'm right now just kind of going through a lot of motions and then just getting stuff done. I really want to not fall behind on the event.
烈焰焚尽，抓住！烈焰焚尽。
轻而易举的胜利。久违了，战场。
我们看看西林的厉害了。重搭载武装，自由开火，重构武装，启用手动驾驶，能量解线，全领域。
I really want to get to the zone that
Fire.
Rin is on right now for Star Rail beta. I was telling Kuma Booty that I had fallen behind, and watching Rin Taicho on the side play through that zone just makes me want to catch back up. I feel like, I don't know that I would necessarily go super deep on Star Rail, but I feel like for content creation, I feel like for those of us that are in the content creating space, we need to farm Star Rail. Like Asmongold AoE farming. I hate to say it that way, but like that is definitely the mood. I want to draw fan art, you know. We'll do all the story playthroughs and all that. Man, the character designs are just really nice. Oh, dude, I started farming artifacts. I'm like, I need speed gear. Oh, this set has a 4-piece that gives me speed? I'm farming this and this only. Speed! Speed! I'm back, Zetsu. How was your rest? Guess what time it is? It's time for a Dyson Sphere. No. $2 a.m.? Oh, no. Do you need to go back to sleep at some point, Zetsu, so that you can wake up for work, or are you just working right now? Sleeping schedule is all Pepega. Yeah, I know what that feels like. You've seen me when my sleep schedule is all over the place, you know. I should buy my stamps now, right? I should buy my HOS stamps. Hey, G-Seed, what's up? This is 10 stamps. This is 4 stamps. 40. But we get 40 stamps here. 40 plus 40 is 80. Where am I at? I'm S1 right now. I don't even think I need to use the character card. Do I? Because 40 plus the 20, or 40 plus the 40 from the, will get me to S3. Let me just buy those stamps right now, because I don't think I need anything else. I'm almost certain that there's nothing else that we need. Wait. Yeah, S2. Chances are it's gonna be a set that I already own on main account, right? I feel like if they announce it's Sarcasm gear, that would kind of suck. I would like to get Sarcasm gear to collect, but I don't know that I need it, but I also have 10 right now. Right? And we have Sarcasm weapon. Between 2S and 3S, I don't think so. I think the main thing is, like, you wanted 3S for the starting SP. This was the major skill for a long time. There's a lot of stuff in between that was, like, it was just, like, small, nice-to-have stuff. Oh, yeah, the double S having the impair on chains also was, like, handy. Yeah, like, I feel like maybe if they added her into legacy farming, eventually I could get her to 3S, but probably not, you know? Four stamps next patch, that is correct. And it's 40 fragments in Paladin Battle Pass.
与大家的回忆是不让你俩最重要的宝物。One sealed.
Darkstar and Avo, ooh.
抵达战场，舰长，请传送下一行动坐标。
If it's Avo, then I can try to get Avo T on my alt account, but if it's not Avo, then it's kind of a whatever.
是不让你俩的胜利。
任重而道远。
You guys want to see some
我们
good
终会抵
memes?
达各自的终点。
肃清妖兽， 已经有破绽。指令收到。
I wanted to get another time fracture on fervent tempo.
Bronya 已经找到了自己的道路。
I don't remember about Holmes. I feel like if Holmes already did, then we probably would have said something about it. Because Holmes would have went on BP with Dark Star, right?
肃清妖兽，以救神州苍生。有破绽。
这几头水，太慢了。溜一点。
It's cool. Well, what else would you have liked to have gotten from Battle Pass? Because I think getting full gear is more important than rank ups. I would probably pick up Sword M first. Because remember, if you top up for Battle Pass, you get fragments from the Battle Pass itself. Like there's 40 fragments in Paladin and there's 10 fragments in Knight. Right? Well, the 40 in Paladin includes the 10 from Knight. And one other thing is you can also down rank in 6.6 to get the missing piece. You can always down rank Crystallum to get your missing M piece. So as long as you take that into consideration, you're still probably safe. Right. Hey, Lava Fairies.
肃清妖兽，以救神州苍生。
指令收到。
John Barta, thank you for the follow.
Bronya 已经找到了自己的道路。
Well, firepower supply would go away before you finish HS. But I guess that is an option. Alright, pause the music. We're turning on in-game BGM for a bit. Yeah, next season might be Flame Sign and HFS. Or it could be something completely different, you know? Ever play Metal Slug? Yeah. Once upon a time on an emulator with my friends. I need HP. Okay, so this is actually like a fun rogue mode. I forgot you could time fracture with Kevin. Probably should upgrade the characters, huh? Eden or Griseo, both. Definitely get both. Eden if you want to play Lightning, and then Griseo if you want to play Physical. But they're both really good. If you already have them both, I think I would go Eden to try to get her to triple S first. Ah, I walked right into that explosion. Walked right into that shot, too. Let me roll for some weapons. I think I have to roll for some weapons. Oh, wait. I don't have any more rolls. Is there anything I can buy yet? No. Remember, outfit and crystals first. Everything else must come later. Get Silver Wing for free. Well, they changed the S rank that's on the returnee rewards every S rank patch, so you'll get something else instead of Silver Wing, I think. Nice, Gitsu. Stopped playing shortly after Pardophilus release. So, you know the deal, Gitsu. You gotta play chapter 33 and 34, get the free stuff first, and then you can go back and re-enjoy the story and whatnot. Cosma targeting isn't bad, it's the fact that you just don't have vision. Cosma is like your long-range sniper. But every character's downward targeting is bad. It's not just Cosma. The flip. She flipped. I got trapped by that flying fish. Kronos, what's up, man? How are you feeling now? Starting Ellie signals are back to 1 for non-flame chasers. Lame. I guess we know what we're putting back on the survey again. No, you don't want to do because of you item, because if you use that item, you can't change your setup, which makes other things not fun. Like, if you run a character that requires BKE for Hephaestus, or Heimdall, for instance, yeah, it's Thorny Crown. Because of, well, a lot of times you would just run because of you anyways, for the pop-up book. I would end up just running because of you a lot of times anyways. But it's not even, but that's not the same. It's not remotely the same. Starting with 2 ego versus getting your second and third ego at floor 8, it's not even close. Put it back on the survey at the end of this patch. We need to have double ego for every character. For Elysian Realm grinders, it's not gonna be that big of a deal, but for like casual Elysian Realm players like myself, It's whether or not I keep running Mobius or Herrscher Elysia versus actually playing the theme character beyond just shallow runs. Which reminds me then, is like, if they add Shadow Knight to Elysian Realm next patch, are we gonna get 2 for Shadow Knight? Because she's a Flame Chaser? I feel like every Fuhua battlesuit that gets added should have 2 starting. Right? Because Memento had 2. Three random multi and you get an elf card. Oh, you have 4 stars now, Kronos? Yeah, Senti doesn't, huh? Because Senti doesn't count, but Shadow Knight should. Since never, you mean since forever. They, who's they? Mihoyo? I think today was the first time I actually looked at the usual beta content creators videos. I only watched a little bit of Wyvern's, but I saw Wyvern post his Red Lotus runs. I thought that was nice. Does Kevin get longer range later? We did it! Time to pre-farm for Dea. You haven't done that yet? Hooray, we're all caught up for now. Yeah, Kevin's ability is Time Fracture. Not every character in the event gets Time Fracture. It is worth it to get SC medals if you have a lot of weapon dupes off you. I picked SC medals on my alt account because I had more weapon dupes. It's more about picking what you need from those boxes. But usually it'll end up being SC medals or Taurus. Yeah. Okay, now that we did that, I'm gonna go back to listening to guitar stuff. When Valkyrie is in Hersher form, huh? So if you don't have Finality, if you don't have Origin, that means you can still use Hersher of Thunder, Hersher of Sentience, Hersher of Human Ego. Oh, these buffs haven't changed yet, though. Frozen. Aha. Yeah, HT is pretty fun. 7 Thunders and Narukami. Or you could go back to playing the basic attack build.
像翅膀一样。来一场华丽的舞会吧。
Is it because all you do is fill meter, spend meter, Shubs? Fill meter, spend meter. Now, is it because she's broken, or is it because the Elizabeth?
I think that's something you also need to remember. The weather buffs definitely are favoring her. Well, you still have three and a half weeks from today, Megabyte. Her banner's gonna be here for a while. Yeah, I don't think it's that bad, but you have 4 weeks right now. How much did you have prepped going into this patch, Megabyte? Yeah, you still have 3.5 weeks on the current banner. I'm a highway star. Oh, Kevin! Kevin! Ooh, she's a killing machine. She's got everything. Bow, 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 bow. At 64 counter. Just keep doing singles till the end of the banner, Megabyte. And then just save the pity for the next time she comes back, if you don't get it. Don't forget, too, we're also going to get a few more anniversary bonuses. I do find that her outfit's a little bit corny and cheesy, but it's less egregious than Spina's paid outfit, for sure.
别心急嘛。
我们从神明手中夺取力量。
来一场华丽
Yeah.
的舞会吧。
There's that sense that they've been rushing kit design a lot more again,
要
you
好
know?
好收下哦。
And I feel like the only way around that is to not release a new... I don't know. I feel like 6 weeks is starting to become too short of a time cycle for them.
快乐共演哦。
Sometimes I wonder if they're running out of ideas, but sometimes it's like they have good ideas and the implementation just sucks.
所谓刹那，不过是唯有在生死的。
It's way less revealing than Nilo's. Because Nilo has like her whole midriff is revealed. Susanna's midriff is covered. And it's, yeah, it's like they either go with a simplistic design, like a standard fill meter, spend meter, and then they get flack for doing too much of a simple or reused concept, or they go too complicated with like multiple layers of mode switches. Because I honestly feel like sometimes there's too much depth on some of the newer characters. Sometimes there's not enough depth because it's like they only have one loop and that's it.
飞向远天，
And it's hard to find that balance.
以我为始，以我为终。
就是。
I don't know. I'm not gonna think too much about it.
来一场华丽的舞会吧。
Yeah, so Susanna will be a physical DPS. And she'll be farmable. I'm very curious to see, like, if you can just get away with only using the weapon, though. Because I know her Stigmata, at this point, it's kind of like an arms race, right? They always have to make the Stigmata strong. Which is good and bad. But I'd imagine that right now is like, even if you skip, you're probably more than enough for Red Lotus. So you just gotta remember to manage your expectations and manage your own goals. Not entirely useless though, Shubs, because there's plenty of sets out there that are just flat damage multipliers that you can still use for her. Just gotta get creative. But again, that's all relative to what your goals are. Like, if your goal is to play in Nirvana, then of course you're gonna want her full set. But if your goal is not Nirvana, then there's a lot that you can probably fill in. Like Shuijing M, right? Shuijing M has physical damage on it. There's a bunch of other, like, not used sets that people probably have dupes of that, like, you can just fill in with physical damage.
场华丽的舞会吧，准备好逃不掉哦！抓住你，璀璨光芒，照耀大地。梦幻的共演哦，小心脚下。
It'll be really bad if they make stacking, like the set bonus of stacking doesn't get patched out. I feel like that's such an obvious fix that they normally do for most sets too, is like, this set can't stack with itself, right? I can't imagine that they would leave it in. But I also know that they know that competitive players will pull for Duke sets.
要好好收下哦。
Because that they did that with Zenyi. Zenyi stacked on itself, and that's why it was so broken.
要踩好节奏哦。梦幻的共演哦，小心脚下。魔法的时间结束了。有这里，在这里哦，抓到你了，射中你的心。
我践踏过无数的理。
Yeah, that's another thing too, is like, if we're committing to slacking, if we're retiring from the meta chase, then the gear won't necessarily matter, right? Like, I'll do a few rolls to see if I can get the weapon, and then basically stop there. Maybe do 50 rolls and see what ends up happening. You know, something along those lines. Yeah, stop at weapon is a classic move for some older SP battlesuit stuff. It's actually like the old school perfect version of F2P Copium, and that way that allows you to collect the next S rank, or you know, 2 S ranks later. Takes more discipline though. All given choices, who listen they will say.
来一场华丽的舞会吧，准备好共舞一整阵。抓到你，璀璨光芒，照耀大地。梦幻的共演哦，小心脚下。飞向远天吧。 去了，抓到你！机器划过的时候，要记得许愿了。哇，这梦幻的共演啊！
What's everyone talking about?
你的武器
Susanna.
确实让我回忆起自己
Susanna's
曾
gonna
经
be
的一个
playable
设
in
想
6.5, and we're trying to decide like if we're gonna save for her gear or we're gonna skip her gear. She'll be good, but I'm curious, like in version 3 after the tuning changes, what goes on. I think version 2 will get a little bit closer to her final tuning, but
哪一场
yeah,
华丽
Plank M back in meta.
要跟上这里，
True.
要好好收下哦。
Yeah, Foca Expo will have S in time, Radiavalo.
小心脚下，飞向远天吧！要踩好节奏哦。
Just remember though, every fragment is like you need 3 or 4 pulls to get 1 fragment. So just remember to not be misled by how many pulls you actually need for those 4 fragments.
照耀大地，
What's up?
飞向远，
Triple SHOS, congrats!
准备要踩好节奏哦。
But what are you gonna use her for now that you're done with the game? Collection points, got it. Don't have Flame Scion? Well, if you had prepped and if you finish the spending event, you can pick up a Flame Scion card from the spending event shop if you're not needing the elf.
来一场华丽的舞会吧！要跟上我的步伐，逃不掉哦！抓住你，璀璨光芒，照耀大地。哇，好高好高！小心脚下。
Why is Siegfried suddenly alive? Well, in chapter 28, Durandal finds out that he was never dead, but that he was kidnapped by the World Serpent, which was a manga revelation, actually, that he was kidnapped by the World Serpent. Because originally what had happened was that Siegfried was recovering at an AE base with Ryoma Raiden. And then World Serpent hit that base. They kidnapped Siegfried. Ryoma made it out alive. And then in chapter 28, we find out that Kevin kept Siegfried prisoner in the Stigmata space. Same rotation, big damage. It's not the same every time, Hasper. You get to pick and choose how much you want to cut from the rotation. And I think that's the coolest part. I'm starting to understand what fragile meant when there's so much to optimize. Because there's like every rotation you can see like, okay, well, I'm over damaged, so now I can cut out one weapon active, or I can cut out the evade, or I can cut the whole Mei sequence out and go like QTE Mei in and straight to alt. Yeah. Or you could do like a mini rot because you're waiting for the Kiana cooldown. There's a decent amount of flexibility. Which I think is great, you know. But, you know, to Era's point, you know, it's like if you don't have the time or you don't have the motivation to practice the team, then of course it's not going to feel as intuitive. And, you know, that's okay. It's okay. You don't have to if you don't want to. Plenty of other things to do, both in and outside of Honkai, that don't require learning the trio team. And I think that's perfectly fine. Yeah, you know, like if the whole leaderboard thing has become a been there, done that for you, you don't need to chase for that score anymore. I feel like for me also is like I'm also getting to that mindset where like I just don't feel the need to necessarily chase. If I'm really close to a threshold and I feel like maybe I could push a little bit further, sure. But, you know, even like Sunday's stream, I felt like I was having a more fun time using a less optimized strat because it was more forgiving, you know? Yeah. Don't do it, Shubs. Think of all the other things that you could be doing instead of doing that. Think of all the other things that you could... I want to start playing Cyberpunk 2077 at some point this year. You know, I want to start doing a bunch of other stuff like play guitar, do more guitar practicing and stuff. I want to actually build assembly lines for my buildings in Dyson Sphere, so when actual Dyson Sphere players come into my chat, I'm not just getting roasted for not having an assembly line for my buildings. You know? Yeah, I'd imagine that there's like some filler rot somewhere in the middle, right, Shubs? There has to be like a half filler rot to control the cooldown on absolute time fracture. It's weird. I'll bet it is. It's technically a full rot, but just without the perfect time fracture. Is that what ends up happening?
质疑无暇的时代。
No time fracture and all. Yeah. Post it in Discord, Chubs. Post it in Discord of his channel.
灿光芒，照耀大地。哇，好高好高！小心脚下。慢慢的共演哦。
Extra May combos, so like after the evade, they keep basic attack, special
魔
attacking.
法的时间结束了。抓到你，记不住你的心。
We covered that a bit. It should probably be Elf right now.
要好好
Elf
收下
fragment boxes, and then rank up stamps. If you don't have the rank up stamp characters, you may want to consider the Flame Scion card if you don't have Flame Scion. So if you don't have Flame Scion, I would say probably the Flame Scion card for collection. But if you don't care about collection and you just want like pure performance, you can just go for like Elf. And then S rank fragment boxes can help you speed up Dorm buff farming.
这么近的距离，
Oh, I get what you were saying, Shub. So you get like, you basically get two, you use the switch reset cooldown on the elf to loop, just basically change the looping. So like, weapon active, without the wing blade. So you QTE and you just spam like basic attacks. Because when you loop back in right after a wing blade, you won't have weapon active or evade available, right? So you're just spamming basic attacks. Do you switch back out when she does her overhead? Or do you hit basics until... And when you evade and you do the evade attack, are you switching out to HTR? Okay, Fireball, we've talked about it a few times. You want 2-star Durandal. We've talked about it a lot. I mentioned it a lot in my account, like the gotcha reviews. So 2-star Durandal. So to reiterate for those that are coming in, and maybe Fireball wasn't here when we went over it many times. The reason you want 2-star Durandal is that 2-star Durandal, even though it's a physical type, you can use it for every element because it's 4% total damage. It provides switch reset and it has a really strong gather. Klein will be good at 3 stars for the Force QTE on Lightning. And the only reason I ever got Klein on my alt account first is because it was the first one out. But if you have only enough to, and you need 75 boxes if you want to unlock from boxes. One thing that you can do, Fireball, that Fragile suggested, is you pick up 100 boxes. 100 boxes. Pick up 50 boxes. It's 50 boxes because every box gives 2, and you sit on the boxes until next patch. Because next patch we're getting a free wedge. So Water's Edge won't have switch reset, but it'll have a really strong gather, and you can use it for your ice team. And with the option boxes, you can rank up Wedge to 3 stars. So that's one option. The other option is you get 75 elf fragment boxes, and then you all in on 2-star Blade Durandal. So those are your two options there. The bullets wave, the white death sprays, say goodbye. Yeah, I think that Salvo rewarding 0 SP and not being able to actually unlock another weapon, I think that was an issue that I ran into with Raven too, that I thought was just dumb. The fact that, like, if you absorb your feathers when there's no target on field, you get 0 SP, and that kind of stuff just never feels good. Just never feels good. What song is this? This is Love Bites. Love Bites. Empty Daydream. Yeah, isn't Love Bites supposed to have a new album out this month? Love Bites, new album. 2023. Judgment Day. When is it released? Oh, it releases in two days. We're gonna be listening to that, like, on loop in 2 days. It's gonna be Wednesday, isn't it? It's gonna be on a Wednesday. We're not streaming on Wednesday. Is SN usable for double S bosses? Some older double S bosses, but I don't know if we'll necessarily see those double S bosses, you know? At least top and mid. I don't know about bottom. I personally think it's not a waste if you craft bottom, but some people will disagree. It depends on whether or not you have newts and other, like, generic B pieces to go with it. As you've seen in my footage, like, you can still use 3-set in an old meta style and still clear content comfortably with it. But top and mid are usually what get used together. If you do top and mid, you can run that with your newt on one of your supports, and then you can see how much power it gives you.
实验开始了，相信你了，很痛的，要小心了。从这里痛苦中蓄力心智，幸福的道理。自己为灯神。
Yeah, Caravaggio top and mid is also like another useful, you know, progression set.
既然立于因果之上，这倒是垂手可得。
How many Paganini pieces did you get? Lightning Chasers, yeah. Lightning Chasers. 2, but both were M. Having 2 M's could be useful. M is probably the most important standalone piece, to be honest, because you can use that on your elemental teams too. For shield break, weathers. Like on my alt account, fighting HOV, I needed to run Paga M on Jade Knight. You got 3 Paga Bs. Okay, just hang on to it, Friday Avalo. You can wishing well in the future if you have the resonators. It'll be a good setup. Yeah, y'all should trade. 1 Paga M for Friday Avalo and 1 Paga B for Sun Moon. All right, chat. You guys wanna do some React content? I wanna look at Jayo's video. Okay, so this is Jayo's account. Jayo, NA budget player. NA budget player. I want to see what he wrote here in the description here. No Dawe is basically FTP, right? Plankton, like me, just can't compete. Heh heh heh. Okay. So the ramblings are at the end, so let's get right into it. I don't know if he recorded with voice, it might just be text only.
Hey everyone, Jayo here. I'm recording an account showcase for you guys today, hope you enjoy it. Planning to take a break from competitive play with the start of 6.4. I know that might sound a bit weird, but overall I'm just a bit burnt out from playing for a long time and
we've been there.
And gotcha, S-rank Valks, and everything else, and so I think this patch is a good one for me to take a break on, still enjoy the story, and then reevaluate from there if I still want to, do 2% and Red Lotus, or if I just want to stop playing entirely. We'll see.
This is a healthy approach.
I know I don't
do
have
very
a lot of
healthy
voiceover
approach.
videos, so hopefully I don't ramble on too much for you guys.
No, please ramble
what
on.
I'm going to do here is look at kind of like login, Valks, collection, etc. really quickly, and then I'm going to spend some time going through battlesuit by battlesuit. I might ramble on a bit more.
Yes, rambling. That's what we need.
Login days. I'm at 988, almost 1,000. I'm sure I'll get there by the end of this patch. I'm going to go right to top up. I know a lot of players like to skip to the end of these types of videos to see that, so why don't we just put it up front, not ashamed. 191,000 crystals spent. You take that over 66, and that gets you $3,000 spent. Whew, that's a lot of money. But I think the thing is, right, I didn't spend 3,000 bucks in one sitting. spent that over 1,000 days, and that's, you know, 3,000 bucks over 1,000 days is about $3 per day, or about 90 bucks per month.
That's not bad.
I did the math there because I was curious, and my spending strategy was always get your 30-day crystal, get your battle pass, and I always got paladin once they started adding frags, and then I would top up, you know, 100 bucks on various patches when there was big releases just to get everything that I could, like a PE, right, or, you know, HOH patch, or things like that. So it kind of makes sense in that context what I've spent. And as a hobby that I enjoy, I don't think it's anything outrageous.
Yeah, it's not outrageous at all.
So basically, I'm free to play.
Yeah,
that's a joke,
basically
but I
free
do
to
think
play.
I've spent, you know, a bit less than other players of
Not
the era.
not 2 million,
Of course,
not
there's
1
some
million,
notables
not
like
a whale, you know.
Renato or Darius or others, and they're very impressive.
Hey Jayo, what's up, man? You have a great voice, by the way, Jayo.
suits.
Jayo's in the chat right now.
Again, I'm going to go through these quickly,
let's-
and then come back to them at the end, because I could just spend ages talking about all of these different Valks.
Really nice
What you'll see in terms
collection
of ranks
on the
is
A ranks.
I've got most of the farmables and SP Valks at SSS, and then I've got Ancient Legacy, Ancient Willpower Valks at SS or higher, and then in terms of pure Gacha Valks, I've got them at S0, so things like a HOH or PE, I've got at S0. And then of course anything that's had a battle pass, I've got some rank ups, so like I've got HOS rank up stamps, and whatnot. So we'll come back to these more. And the other thing, right, is augments. I do have some of the augments that were useful during my era of play, but some of them I don't have, like DP here.
Oh no, no TP.
And as we come to the end, what you'll see is the Valks that I skipped, which was one of the S-rank DPS Valks. And
Yeah.
for someone who spent what I did, these were kind of just unobtainable. You had to save for the next patch rather than rolling any.
Okay, I will say though, I'm curious what happened that you were not able to get Mobius. Because what had happened? What was it? It went Flame Scion, MPE, and then Mobius Raven. What happened that didn't let you get Mobius? Jayo, answer me in the chat.
Valks.
Apparently there was a bunch of discussion because people were surprised I was missing some. See, like, skipping, okay, so skipping, what's her name? Helix. Skipping Vilvi and Aponia and Nyx and Silverwing were standard, right? Those are standard skips. Skipping these two, I can understand because you're kind of at the end of the road here. You probably dumped all in on Herrscher of Truth. But what happened with Mobius? Went broke on Flame Scion. Ayo was on Raven patch, yeah. So you rolled Raven. Did you get unlucky on Raven gear even with the refund?
You can see the one that I am missing.
What was he using for lightning? He had HT. He had HT.
You know, is DA. I did skip DA on her release, but I actually went back to get her. I was coping with Flame Sakitama for a long time. And
yeah, I remember those
so
days.
Painful, and
I remember those days, Jayo. We were
so
malding that Rhyme Star with Flame Sakitama like no tomorrow.
Getting her 4 out of 4 on her first or second rerun. And I definitely regretted sitting down and spending that much on a video game. Of course, I got a lot of use out of DA, and I did enjoy playing her, so it wasn't all terrible. But the thing for me was I'd rather save up over time and try and be more efficient with crystals than just pure top up.
Yeah, okay, so I think going back for DA probably hurt a lot in this case. But I think you recognize that too.
Experience. And then for this patch, I just haven't rolled the new Valks yet, and so I'll get Maze gear on the banner. I don't know that I have that much crystals for anything else, so.
Wait. You haven't played the story chapter yet? I guess that's on the to-do list, right?
Look at real quick before you look at gear.
I think that's on the to-do list. Yeah, we played Hawk of the Fall. Oh, you played it.
I didn't actually finish.
Did you not claim the card at the time of this recording,
Kind of the
Jayo?
most important ones, though, and I just kind of ran out of Mind Stones.
Yeah, I ran out of Mind Stones in the
and
past too.
I did get.
Oh
some
my
of these
goodness,
LG
Saloon and
first
Fushi,
elves.
the
I got
old
them
school.
2-star. These were super useful for MA, and I was primarily an MA player in my early days.
Yeah,
In terms
Klein
of
3
Klein,
stars, super nice.
This was the first gotcha elf that I really rolled for seriously to get 3-star. Because we could all just tell how strong her skills and abilities were.
4-star Blade
Then
Durandal.
Durandal was the next one here, and I didn't intend to get 4-star, but essentially my luck was so bad that in getting 3-star I was really close to.
Oh, that's right. IO patch did have Klein, and that's what you rolled for. Okay, that's justifiable. That's justifiable.
4-star, so I just got the extra card, and in the end that was quite a powerful elf to pick up. And then for Alicia,
yeah, okay, that makes a lot of sense for the 5.2 to 5.5. Okay, Jayo, that makes a lot of sense.
I knew I wanted to get the elf because I didn't have a good ice elf, because Saloon 2-star was really weak, and actually was quite unlucky with these pulls, and I used her as 2-star for the start of the patch, and it was so weak it was quite disappointing. Getting 3-star was a big improvement. And then you can see here I did skip Tesla, Bella, Water's Edge, Siren. I could just never afford elves in that period of play with the spending that I was doing. And I do kind of want to get Kiana, she's very strong, but we'll see. In terms of gear, let's start with weapons first. So I think I was saying I was primarily an MA focused player for a long time. So you can see I've got things like positrons or...
Oh, you sorted by weapon type.
Various dupes where I kept Echoes of Paradise. And that was primarily for that MA purpose.
Man, sorted by
Same
weapon
thing
type.
on swords.
Yeah.
I didn't have HOT May on her launch. I actually didn't get May until her battle pass. And so I'd use Hawk of the Fog with Mag Typhoon for a long time in every single week of MA. That was of course in the SS era of bosses.
2020
in terms of
era.
cannons, so MA focus I had my Brie Pre, and then HOR was kind of my only Ice Rock for a long time, and so I did have her gear as well, and did get Star of Eden and Willows.
Star of Eden was kind of cracked, but it was also kind of like annoying
of
of her launch time.
And her power level has increased.
Oh, double sleepers!
In terms of great swords, you can see I do have 2 sleepers dreams. Actually didn't get the second one until about 4 or 5 patches ago.
I should have converted my second Blood Dance earlier for a second sleepers.
Spare mats. And I'm actually really glad I got that. It makes the last SS boss we have each week a lot easier. And of course I only have 1 Blood Dance, and I've got Anu 2. In terms of crosses, you can see the MA themes here, right? So I have my late for various budget siege.
And then Hecate was kind of late in the time.
So got things like Silver Reaper and Ranger's Cross.
Ranger's Cross.
And then of course Salvation of Sakura is really key, whether you're playing Flame Sakitama or HOS or DA.
Oh, fist weapons.
Gloves, you can see I've got everything. The
Himiko can't live without Fuhua's fists. That's in the game. That's during Sanka Saga. You can find that quote.
Long Down was recent for this battle pass, so I didn't actually have that for quite a while. And then you'll see right here at the top I've got Nuada's max because, again, I used Hawk of the Fog for a long time, and that was super key to doing that. Scythes, so, you know, one, Rita has been a great staple for lower spending players for a long time. So I have both of hers. SN was more of a luxury thing. I got SN on her battle pass with AE, and I did level up this scythe at that time, and SN's a lot of fun to play. Unfortunately, I kind of got her past her prime.
Yeah,
and as you can see here, I did have both Scotty and Undine, but I could never afford to level up either of these when those Valks were relevant.
Oh, look at that Abyss Flower dupe.
BK was actually the first Gotcha Valk I rolled for, and so I do have my Fleur, I do have full BK, and that was what carried my account for a long time in Masters and early.
Yeah, having BK in Old Masters Abyss was huge.
And of course bows, there's not a lot of bow characters, but they're all good. So I've got my level 50 and my Pry next bows.
This is a really nice bow collection.
Same thing for the Chakrams.
A very nice Chakram collection.
65. And a note on Ichan, you'll see I do have her full gear, and I did kind of decide to roll for that at the end of the patch. I just felt for a low-spending player like myself that I would probably need to skip a Valk like, well, an Hersher of Finality this patch, or just future Fire Valks. And so having the support gear for Fire would be crucial, and so far I think that's been right. So I don't really regret rolling for her. So in terms of Stigmata, we'll talk through these.
I ended up going the opposite route on my NA account, where I said I would skip I-Chan so that I could hit the spending goals in the spending event. And to be honest, rolling for Hersher of Truth on the NA account was kind of a risky play. But because Hersher of Truth was just too good, I ended up having... Because normally, the 2 patches between major spending events is where... on a low budget account, right, a free to play or a low budget account, that's generally where you would want to save. And like if there's an SP banner in the middle of that, like that's where you want to try to get super lucky on.
These more as we go through the Valks, but you can see I basically got a full set of all the major gacha stuff over the last 2 to 3 years. And you also see I do have some dupes, and so things like Paga dupes, select dupes.
So far this patch, no Finality or her gear, but you knew you would have enough for her Hersher of Truth. Yeah, that's good. Did you how far did you end up going on Hersher of Truth, Jayo? Well, I'm guessing we'll probably find out here later when you go over that. But I'm assuming that you were able to fully gear her. Did you get any? Oh, S0. Did you have to get any option boxes, or did you get like super lucky in the focus? Or was it just kind of, you went to the 60 box? Oh, okay. Okay, well that's not bad at all.
Gen E dupes. These are all off rates just from rolling over the last 3 years. I didn't,
really nice double Avo M.
2 sets of Gen E on the initial banner. I couldn't afford that, but just over
nice
time,
double
off rates.
2 sets of Turg.
So I got 2 sets of Gen E, 2 sets of Turgenev, and I got a bit lucky in that regard. Of course, I got some bad dupes, but you won't see those because I would have salvaged them. I think another funny one here is Holmes, because back in 2021, 2022, Holmes was on off rate on like every banner, and so boomers from that area like me have or had gotten 3 or 4 sets of Holmes and salvaged all of it down to 1, and now it's just a useful stick set. Now that bleeds, much more viable mechanic. Shui Jing, you can see I got a lot of dupes here. I did use a bunch of them.
Quite good.
That was key for certain areas.
Oh, nice broken sword
I did use that
dupes.
with my Flame Sakitama.
You kept your Goemon.
Both I got my Goemon for my Hawk of the Fog, and I got a lot of budget stuff like Kafka, Marco Polo, Beat.
And you saved your Dirac.
Musician.
Very nice.
I got 2 sets of JST. We got things
but
here
where's
like
the rare
Summer
single
Set,
JSTB?
XY, Economy, etc. And then also, right, I've got 2 Maze, 4
nudes. Very nice.
I could afford
Shro T and Shro M. I don't even have a Shro T
anymore, so I haven't really been digging for them. I probably should get them. Just
classic double Jingwei. Oh, you even have a Shenong.
Fusi Midbot, that was for Night Moonbeam. A lot of budget things here.
Wait. Did you not ever have a maxed Fushi B for like Paralyzed set? Or well, no, that would have been Fushi M and Clio B. So you never actually had to run Fushi B for your Flame Sakitama, did you? Yeah, it just can't be. Oh, okay.
Over. Zhongheng B, I use this a lot for my Hako Fog as well.
Good old days. Re-rolling for that.
And then towards the bottom.
I don't think I would have the patience for that anymore. And to be honest, like it's pretty degenerate gameplay when we look back at it.
I did collect most of them when they came up.
It's pretty degenerate gameplay. Zhongheng
like
B, AB spam. Oh yes, some of these event sticks were just so good. Like Detective Durandal, the Theater Prince May.
I'm not a huge collection or achievement point person, so they're in here if they came out. But
oh yeah, I gotta go back and lock my Perseo Red Riding Hood one.
In terms of materials, same stuff everyone's got. I've got all these extra boxes of outfits from battle passes that I just haven't opened yet. I do still have
Never
some
open
of these
them.
stick
Yeah,
selection
never
boxes
open.
from things like Silverwing or Phil V.
They're
And then
never
some of these
getting
material
opened.
boxes from different anniversaries. I just haven't
Never
used
ever
yet.
getting opened, ever.
Stamps, I don't remember if I talked about this or not, but I was saying I would buy Battle Pass every patch, and so every time there was a top-up stamp patch, I would just get $100 of battle chips, sorry, B-chips then, and then save those for the Battle Pass. And so I still have all the stamps from those. Well, I used the stamps that were relevant and I have the extras here. In terms of basic mats, not much to talk about here besides, excuse me, this
Yes.
Neon Genesis Evangelion collab ticket. I just thought I would keep that as a collection
Keep
item. I
one.
thought that was cool. In
Keep
terms
one.
of Farmel mats here, you can see the boomer. I've got lots of fuel. Of course, as newer players would know, that's tough to get, but once you have everything, you don't need to spend it. And then
Yeah, look
I've
at that
got,
red lens
you know,
accumulation.
buffer,
The
IR
red lens
mats.
accumulation
Got
is
a lot
super
more SC
nice
metals
too.
now than I used to because of the shop changes. But nothing crazy there.
Wait. We have to go
And then
back
comes
to the
the-
affix mats.
you can
Hold
see
on.
the
Hold
boom.
on.
Action item. I thought that was the extras here.
10,000. Hold on.
Excuse me, this. In terms of basic mats, not much to talk about here besides.
Oh.
I just thought I would keep that as a collection.
Look at these affix locks. This is the affix lock right here, right? Well, see, this is the thing I ran into on my NA account as well, where it's like if you don't do that much affixing, you just save all your locks because you don't care as much, you know.
An item. I thought that was cool. Of course, a lot more SC metals now than I used to because of the shop changes.
Hey Slap, how's it going?
But nothing crazy there.
So this is Jayo's account.
And then in terms of the event, I've,
He's
of course,
going
got all
into
of these
chill mode
birthday
now.
items. Really like.
Oh, I remember this. This was the I don't remember if I kept this one because I remember if you had to open this box to get the mooncakes, and the mooncakes had a code in it.
Count Mihoyo's kind of switched the birthday things into letters and cutscenes over the years, and enjoyed getting those.
Yeah, I have all the mooncakes from that box.
So that's Valks and Elf.
That's a furniture set.
And Stigmata. I guess real quick, I think I didn't look at
Oh, I remember which
So
furniture
see, I
set it
got
is. Yeah.
pretty much all
I
the buffs
remember
maxed
now.
out, even with a few of the things I'm missing.
What are the things
And
that you're still
then
missing?
if we look at emblems real quick, I know we're a huge emblem collector, so you can see I'm missing a lot of things.
I'm missing all the ER ones.
But I got
Looks
stuff
like
as
you
I
are
came
too.
And then in terms of days, I've actually been kind of slacking in Myriad a lot, so I actually don't get T100 Myriad all the time.
Yeah,
Not that many days,
NA
even before
Myriad
when I was a
definitely
bouncer, so I have
sweaty.
built up days.
But
But
look
you
at
can see I
that,
do have 260
260.
days on the regular Nirvana emblem.
Pretty sick.
Then
Jayo, well, where's the spending number? So he did it at the start. All right, what's our timestamp right now? 14 minutes. Let's go back to top up. So under 200K, basically free to play. Basically free to play. Yeah, he did the math. It was like what, 3,000 divided by 988 days, so only $3 a day. That's the freest F2P, yeah.
I think what is funny though is if we look at this 5-star Stigmata section,
Oh, hang on, we have to go back
or
just a little
level
bit.
up, again, it doesn't feel like it's been that Nirvana was a bounce emblem. In terms of collection stuff, it's funny, this keychain from 2020 doesn't feel like it's been that long.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like it's been
And in
that
terms
long
of
at all.
collection
I remember
things
when they
itself,
released the special
yeah.
promo art for that, and I was like, whoa, that Durandal and Rita art looks so
I was
good.
never huge on racking up collection points. I'm sure I could get more if I were to level up various things in my inventory, but it just doesn't matter to me. I think what is funny though is if we look at this 5-star Stigmata section, you can kind of really see the arrows of play I was in and where my count state was at. So you can see I have a lot of this free-to-play stuff like Cleo B, Lear, Fusi.
Yeah, especially back when G1 craftables were all that we had to craft. I remember You know, it made
So
sense
on.
just to craft it because it was free.
And the
Basically,
funny thing about the Kongming, this is for like a Homu strat where with a Keepster made, where you are continuously dodging the Homu fart hit box with double Kongming. That's the only reason why I have that hilarious strat.
oh yeah, I remember having
And
to
then
use
what you start to see
Kongming a
here
lot
is
back in the day.
once I
Yeah, where's your JSTB, man?
really got into playing and had my account fully running, I would start to roll on the new stuff as it came out. And so, past this point here, you can start to see I have all the full sets of all of these gotcha Valks.
I think that would be one thing I would like to do at some point, is like just start farming and crafting all the old like non-meta stuff that, you know, just for collection.
Still missing a
but
million
it's like
items
that's like
somehow.
a pipe dream, right? Because there's always new stuff coming out.
Then the
and you
Valks
just
that I
wanna
did skip,
get new
never got
stuff.
any mix off rates, only got the IoT, never got anything for Aponia or Vilby. You can see for Silver Ring I somehow have T and M, so actually
This is funny. You can actually open the option box for Silverwing and complete your set.
have her full gear. I just don't have Silver Wing. Alright, I think I missed Divine Keys, so let's look at that real quick. I do have all the Divine Keys. I'm not going to click on each of these, but I do have it fully maxed out. I do have them all now. Again, I didn't get some of them until more recently, but we've made it to the end of the road on the Divine Key side of things. So I think that's good for a quick overview. I think what I want to do now is just go through each of the battle suits. Yeah, so let's start with Kiana. Again, MA player, so I have my Triple S Night Moonbeam. I did cope with that Brucey mid-bottom with SS Night Moonbeam for a long time. Never did get to play Void Drifter here because it just wasn't kind of in the era of play that I was in. And then Hershey the Void,
I remember my very first Exalted week was Doom was the uprate boss, and I had to play a Super Scuff. I had to play a Super Scuff KMBCH Void Drifter, and I think I barely got 27k on an uprate fight or something stupid like that. Or maybe it wasn't the uprate, I don't remember, but it was terrible.
It as kind of a, I don't know, just something I wanted to have was full HOV, and I finally got her geared up on the patch she got into Elysian Realm. And I did get her SS kind of from all the extra Valk eggs and stuff like that.
Okay, so you do have full set for Searing Ascendant. That's good.
Then here's her Flame Scion. I do have her full gear. I think when she first released, I
Are you gonna get her to S1 from the spending shop? Because I see you have 6 fragments, so 2 stamps would be S1.
What was funny though is I think nowadays Lewin Hook actually scores pretty similarly to her gear, but at the time we just like the rotations weren't there. And
yeah, that was my fault, right? Because during my beta videos, like I kept trying to do the standard rotation. That was before we learned that with Lewin Hook you have to ult first.
I wasn't a very good player, and so I scored a lot lower than players with her signature set.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe Jayo still wants to get some elf fragments. You know, if you go elf fragments,
Getting better. In terms of May,
like if you go for S2, you would need to buy 5 stamps. But if you only go for S1, you need 2 stamps because he only has 6 fragments. But S2 is you need 50 total for S2.
here again.
So
I didn't get HO2
you can divide your
Battle Pass.
resources a
I
little
do
bit
have her
more
SS1
if you
now,
only
part of that
go
is
for
all those stamps that we
S1
got
Flame
from
Scion.
different top-up events. Although I think other players are at SS2 and beyond, so that's why I'm lagging behind a bit there. Getting May was actually pretty big for my account in terms of consistency in Abyss and T100 a little bit, just because without her,
HT was
life
really
very
good.
difficult.
Even
See, I
the
do
old
have all
versions
the
of
sets
HT.
nowadays in terms of the Gen Yi, the Veneras, the Handle, the new Pride, the old Pride, etc.
The new
Before
Pride,
that,
the old Pride.
used,
Yeah.
Lightning Empress May a lot, so
Yeah. This is
see all these code
nostalgic.
sets I was using. Somerset, I had to divide the few support sets I did have back in the day across multiple Valks.
What was it? S1 had like
It's funny
2%
how
more
many
breach too,
battles
right?
She has compared to everyone else.
S1 had like 2% more breach
Some
or
days does feel
something.
like she's Mihoyo's favorite in that regard. Have everything here.
Wait, what's the rank on your
I did
HOR?
use some of these other A-rank suits for various meme strats. You know, Snowy Cypher was used with FT Delta for different MA things. Valkyrie Chariot had a long time fracture, so you use her for some strats.
Did you ever do cannon stacking, Jayo, or was that before your time? Because I remember we used to have some people. Was it not Germ?
Full sets. I did only get S0, and I kind of
Gelly 2 would used to come in and do some crazy meme strats. I think Slap probably played cannon or missile
I
stacking.
think, again, we talked about
Slap probably remembers missile stacking and all that stuff. I didn't do any missile stacking either.
I gave her some buffs in the Star.
Chiruri used to play missile stacking.
Himiko, I know a lot of people are big Himiko fans. I guess I never really was. I got Vermilion Knight, I think, in the first month of playing. She was one of the Dorm Valks I got. And you can see I did get Might of Anu too, and I was trying to use her as a fire
beautiful as the day we lost
in the early days, and it was helpful. It just wasn't super strong by the time DA came out and fire meta really came into being. And so end of the day, I never really maxed out her pry. Also, from a Dorm perspective, I kind of delayed her and Blood Rose, and see both of them are at S for me, and she's the next one I'm trying to get to SS.
Yes,
so even 1,000 AO account like mine is still missing a few of these farmable things. In terms of Teresa, use a lot of these Valks in MA. SA, of course, was huge for MA, especially for 2% in budget strats with Night Squire, or just, you know, various time fracture chains. Sukuna Rondo was used even in MA because of typing and for Salvation of Sakura. More in Abyss though. Valkyrie Pledge I actually used a lot. She's got one of the longest time.
I still don't have her at triple S. Well, maybe I did get her at triple S actually.
2% keepster strats, and I tried to do those.
But
of
yeah,
course lost some
time fractures.
On those.
She was such a good time fracture team member.
I have her triple S from farming Agent Legacy, and I do have the full late setup.
No one remembers Callan. Well, actually, Slap. There's always that one guy that used to always respond to MiHoYo Twitter, like on the Honkai Twitter. They always be like, day whatever of asking for a new Callan battlesuit.
The day before Airship Sentience. And I still use her a lot in those fervent tempo strats now in the last MA bosses we get. And then you'll see here I actually don't have Twilight Paladin even unlocked or bought out. And the reason for that is, right, I got BK pretty early on. She was on banner. Right when I started playing in 3.9 on the BG patch. And by the time I was ready to roll for a Valk, it was Durandal. And so I got my BK then, and that was kind of the only strong Valk I had for a long time in Masters and early Exalted.
She was really good back then if you got her early, but it was very expensive to build the team.
Yeah,
but I remember she was like
Durandal DLC.
I remember back then in the Masters Abyss, you know, like if you didn't have Bright Knight, you were just suffering in Masters Abyss because you would always run into duo elites, and at the end it was always like 2 bio enemies, and you just couldn't out kill them with paralyzed build anymore because they were just too tanky. And then you would have remember like the last days of Masters Abyss, it was like the Gigant and the Death Web together, and you needed BKE for that too, because the only other alternative aside from BKE for that was HOR. And if you were running HOR without AE, oh, you were in for some pain. If you could even get there.
Funny is, Fuha is definitely one of my favorite Valks. You can see I have all of her suits here. And Night Squire is kind of a Valk that everyone who plays MA really loved, but ironically...
Wait, did you get the Rustic Noir outfit for Night Squire, Jayo?
I played Night Squire because I always just played BK, and I never had to learn how to do instant ult or evasion ult cancels and things like that.
Yeah, I was really bad at those cancels.
I'm not very good at them. And then Hawk of the Fog, again, my favorite Valk. I had to play this a ton, had to cope without HOT, and had to make this work. And you can see some of the budget things I was using.
You never saved the Paralyze set on her.
I'm not very good at them.
Oh, that's right. You had BKE, so you never had to like Abyss mob with her, right?
My favorite Valk. I had to play this a ton, had to cope without HOT, and had to make this work. And you can see some of the budget things I was using, like this, Jingwei, Thales, Zhang.
Yeah.
And I'm sure I had even more budget.
Hog of the Fog was my Abyss carry for a long time with Paralyzed set. It was so satisfying running like the full combo and doing the Paralyzed stuff.
On her battle pass, I only got S2 or S3, I think. And I had to buy character cards that came up in the shop in the last 2 or 3 patches to get SS. And even though it wasn't worth it, I wanted it for collection. Fuhua, Phoenix. You can see I had to use this back in the day.
Yeah.
Fuhua Musician.
Fuhua Musician MB with the candy.
We didn't have a lot of sports back in 2021. Shadow Knight, I do have an SS, which I think was from Legacy. And maybe a character card or 2 from Anniversaries or whatnot, I don't remember. I used her more for lead skills for DA teams, to be honest. By the time I did get SS, SK, just either Hawk of the Fog was just as good, or other options were better.
Yeah, that's tough.
And then of course
tough on the
Sentience
timing.
made the game a lot easier physical. I had S0, S1 now with the Battle Pass. I'm not the biggest Senti fan, I like Fuhua better, but of course, amazing battle suit. Rita.
Oh, that makes sense too,
These 2
Jayo. Like
suits
all the
are
shared
amazing
gear
for
was a fix for
spenders like
Fog.
me.
I get
Got
it.
a ton of value out of SPA without Mobius. I did go for SS on her because I knew that would be key.
Oh yeah, it was also
so
a really
spending
easy
those
rank up
stamps.
at the time because
then
during
for-
5.5 it was like if you got just 4 stamps from the spending event shop, you could get the rest from Elysian Realm, and it was a very easy double S. I actually did one more 10 roll on Spina at the time. I did one more 10 roll because I needed S2 like a week earlier than I could grind for the missing stamp. So now I'm like 10 fragments out of 50 towards SS1.
These 2 suits are amazing.
I'm tempted
for
to
lower
try to
spenders
get
like me. Had a ton of
SS1
value out
at
of
some
SPA
point.
without Mobius. I did go for SS on her because I knew that would be key. And so I got those spending event stamps. And then for Fallen Rosemary, incredible value from a sport perspective, as well as really good quad DPS if you don't have Vilvi or some of the other options. And so I have played her with Handle a lot, with Genyi, with some of these other Stig sets, and really one of those quad options you have to lean on. Miko, or Yai Sakura, did have to use this, Lee One Hook Thales, Runa Sakura combination quite a while. It was fun. I did enjoy some of those strats, but man, they were painful.
Yeah, it was so.
In terms of Colin,
It was
you
fun
have
to play.
SS.
It was fun to play, and then when you looked at the score afterwards, you're like, I worked so hard for this.
6 Serenade, that's just for the dorm buff. I never really played her. Let's talk about FT a bit, where I did mention those double sleeper streams. The other thing that we kind of forget about was...
Did you get Dickens from off rates?
At the time, FT was huge, right? She covered so many different bosses, so many abysses on different weathers and whatnot, and it was pretty free to play if you look at these stigmata. Right, I did get Dickens.
Oh, you
because
rolled
I
Dickens
just
banner.
didn't
Oh
have the
no.
Used Kafka TM Lear.
29k on Rhyme
used
Star.
Shrink
Yeah,
Lear,
yeah, I
looking
used to
at
have to
that
mauled
because
extra
I only
just
had
to
one
get
set,
past
so
30k, because
we
you
had to
needed
shuffle
a
around what you
specific
had.
moveset.
And even used her for Blood Dance, so very strong Valk at the time, even though nowadays...
Yeah, okay, so here's the deal with Dickens on release. It's like, if you had no infrastructure, if you didn't have Kafka, TM, or anything, it made sense, right? Because, like, having Dickens just gave you damage that you just otherwise wouldn't have had. So that it makes sense.
Blueberry Blitz I really only used for Blood Dance for a long time, for different kind of newt restretch strategies with HOR, and then started using her more with the second sleepers.
Lilia turned out to be like cracked in a few situations where
Sele,
she could be just like
again, I
a
got SN on
monster.
her battle pass. I think I got her to S2 or S3, and then I used Witch Orbs to get her to SS, and then we got a card recently, so now I'm S1.
Oh, nice!
SN
Congrats
was
on the
amazingly
card.
strong in MA on her release for a very long time. And so that's why I picked her up in Battle Pass, because I had...
Yeah, it's funny, during chapter 32 and 33
Pro,
open world, I
so I had
ran
to cope
Stygian Nymph.
with these Kafka TM cask setups.
This is where your cask B went. But yeah, I remember during 32 and 33 open world,
I would run her with full Paganini to support the PE team. So I would run Stygian Nymph, HS, and PE for that open world.
And I actually did okay. You can see some of my vids. I've got some runs with that, coping with that setup, and still a very fun Valk to play, even if she's, you know, not as meta now. Durandal, definitely one of my favorites as well, besides Fuhua. Again, use BK a lot. Rolled heavily for DA. Don't do that. Don't do that at home.
Don't do that at home. That's right.
And PE has been worth the money at S0. Super strong Valk, and I knew I had to.
I wish it was easier to get PE to S2.
Or
I can't wait for that ADV banner.
Super meta from that.
Or that battle pass, I guess.
And I do feel like PE Durandal is really fun to play, right? Her weapon switch animations are just pretty epic when you're fighting big bosses. If you really take a second to step back and just watch her gameplay, it's a lot of fun.
Oscar!
So I did play this Neon Genesis Evangelion collab. It was a very fun collab.
Oscar!
Not huge on this anime or deep into the show, and so I didn't roll for her that heavily or really go for her.
I did see you had the sticks. You had two pieces.
I just got lucky on the banner that came up, which was T and B. And I actually didn't get Columbus M and